All right, all right. Dude, this will never end. This will haunt me for the rest of my life. But we are live. It's
What
the
is
end
up?
of day one of the first test match between India and West Indies. And India clearly dominate. There is nothing much to say apart from this is what we expected. And
Yeah.
we got all of the PPs right. Pratip did say India will bat by the end of the day, that India will get at least 4 wickets by the end of the first session. Everything just played out.
Spot on. I think it was a more or less a good start for India. I mean, there's nothing out of the
That is
ordinary.
true.
It's expected. It would have been crazy if West Indies pulled off something today, but nothing. Everything went as templates, as per stats, as per West Indies batters averaging less than 20. If you didn't watch the pre, you can still go and like it. But if you're on here, hit like. We will talk about a lot of things. Chat, let's get the chat going. What did you think about the day? Have all of that. We've also put up a poll, so answer that. But yeah, positives, negatives,
Yeah, we have a
summary,
lot
lot of
of
things.
of things coming up. We have interesting stats. We have interesting technical breakdowns. Like always, like something we always do in a test series. Hi Vivek, hi Ayushman, hi Uncle Weeds. Uncle Weeds, I don't know what you're up to or what if you've had what your name
Uncle
suggests.
Weeds, deep breath.
Yeah, because until now in the chat, there's nothing concurrent in terms of conversation
You,
except
sh-
for the do you like basketball bit.
you should know that we went all the way back to our channel to see if something's off with the title or something
Yeah.
because we thought, what rage bait
You guys
or
like
clickbait?
basketball? Sure,
Yeah.
we like basketball. Why not? All right, then let's start off with a post match, post day of day one,
Mm.
and let's start off with the summary.
All right. So
If you see a big hole in the middle, that's because you tried
I,
something and then
I
I
was
forgot
supposed to
about
fit
it.
there, but I'm not there.
Yeah.
But here we go. West Indies winning the toss and electing to bat first. Unsurprisingly, I think it was a good toss to win and a good decision also to bat if you have batters who are able to put on the runs.
Oh, sorry,
Unfortunately,
baseball. We haven't watched baseball. Sorry.
baseball, fair. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and West Indies dismissed for 162 within less than a day, of course. Siraj getting 4 for 40, Bumrah getting 3 for 42. India in reply 121 for 2. They would have liked to be 2 wickets lesser going into the end of the day, or at least one. But KL Rahul's looks solid, 53 not out of 114. Gill's out there, 18 not out of 42 deliveries, and India in a supremely commanding position.
Let's talk
Let's
about the positives.
let's talk about the
I even then why would you ask, buddy? But anyway. All right. Let's
nice
talk about the positives for the day.
positives are. I think firstly starting off with the ball, there are things that we'll get into the specifics of that Ashwin will cover in the negatives as to how the new ball bowlers just started off a little wayward. Ashwin will cover that. But from a positive point of view, in the pre, we had spoken extensively about Siraj and how it's important for him to be able to find form. Also, the reason why India had to play Bumrah up until now is because Siraj was struggling to get wickets in that last home test season. What has happened today is a great development because Siraj has turned up and he's got 4 for 40. He's balled well. He's got the ball to move. He's got it to nip, and he's been using the wobble seam very well. There's also a couple of really good bounces that he balled. Looks sharp, looks on the money, been accurate for the most part. There is obviously always going to be a little bit of criticism from our end, but I think Siraj started off brilliantly. That's the first bowler who was the positive for the day. Bumrah's middle spell was really good, where he came back around the 30th over and he was bowling, I want to say to Greaves, but we'll have to double check that. But yeah, like just him setting up batters, using the bouncer to good effect, and then yorking a lot of the batters. Some may call it stat padding because he's getting out the lower order batters, but we know that that's definitely not the case. And all in all, this is something you expect from Bumrah, especially at home, when you know that initially the pitch was offering a lot, but once it started to become a little more docile, it was important for Bumrah to come in and get those couple of wickets. So once again, positive from Bumrah. And from there, we moved to Kuldeep Yadav, who finally got to play a test match in, I think, more than a year. The last time he played was at home. So, considering that, considering the Asia Cup he was coming off, he was already in good rhythm. And today was a further evidence of just that. Kuldeep was right on the money right from the very beginning. Pitched it in the right areas, balled a couple of good googlies, balled the normal stock delivery really well, good flight, and just he knew what he was doing. And this is why it is so important for us to be playing Kuldeep consistently in this format in the 11. Now, that's on Kuldeep. Couple more positives is around KL. Washington Sundar also bowled really well, to be honest. He got it to drift. We have a technical bit on that, so watch out for that. But apart from that, KL Rahul and Jaiswal, I thought the openers did extremely well. Jaiswal in particular, because earlier on in his innings, he was not getting runs easily. At one point, I think he was 2 of 24 or something like that. But he was ready to play the patience game, and he was biding his time. Eventually, there was a point where he took over, took on the bowlers, was able to even cross KL Rahul in terms of strike rate and just runs, but he will be a little unhappy with the dismissal. But all in all, just the fact that Jaiswal's ready to play that patience innings and just bide his time was something that was really nice. And KL obviously is batting on 53 not out. That is a huge positive. It is Indian conditions. KL has been in brilliant form coming into the series. It's nice to see that he's at least out there capitalizing on whatever runs he can get. So yeah, that's the positives.
All right, that's been the positives. Let's go to the negatives. And Vignesh Ram, that's exactly what I'm going to start off with. I think the new ball bowlers weren't doing the best of jobs in terms of keeping it tight. Yes, both Siraj and Bumrah actually both got wickets with the new ball. But when they started off, it was clear to see how both of them were a bit rusty and weren't expecting the kind of swing that they got from this Ahmedabad pitch. It's not just swing that was troubling them in the sense, it was also seam. We saw a lot of four byes. Unfortunately, Dhruv Jurel was being thrown around as a wicketkeeper because Bumrah and Siraj weren't keeping it tight. And that's when you saw Siraj start keeping it tight, and then we saw Bumrah start keeping it tight too. Interestingly, it was after the leg slip that was brought in. I don't know if you talked about this. Yeah, interestingly, Bumrah was very wavered over the wicket to both left and right handers until he went around the wicket. Even then, he was wavered until Shubman Gill brought a leg slip on. The second the leg slip was put up, for whatever reason, the mindset of Bumrah just switched. I don't know if it was him realizing that he was being very wavered or just that the support or the safety of that leg slip. Once that leg slip was put up, he was just tied once again. It's something we will get into, and it's something we will talk about extensively in terms of how Bumrah being tied just helps him and the Indian players just get more wickets, the Indian team get more wickets. But that is a negative per se. Of course, we did get a lot of wickets, but with Bumrah and Siraj, you always know, and you always know with us, we will be overly critical because of the kind of bowlers they are, especially Bumrah. He started off, I thought, well with the first ball, and this just was all over the place until he got those wickets and until that leg slip was put up. And then we have to talk about Yashasvi Jaiswal's wicket. Yes, Pratap did talk about how it was great to see him biding his time. Of course, there were a lot of people on Reddit and Twitter talking about how he's batting too slow, not realizing what Test cricket is all about. But he, after the rain break that it was, the small rain break, he came out all aggressively. He got 7-8 boundaries, all of them after that break. And it was also, oh no, it was not lunch. It was just a rain break. But we saw Jaiswal cutting a ball very, very close to his body and giving a catch to the keeper. I feel like it's something we have already talked about since the England series. And here we are back again talking about Jaiswal cutting the ball, something very close to his body. You know, interestingly, technically, he did everything right for that cut shot. If you remove the ball away from the pitch, technically, he did everything right. You can see his back foot going close to the line of the body, except why would you do that when the ball is anyways close to your body? Which is also why he played the ball late, which is also why it took almost his glove to the keeper. And then we saw a new number 3 walk into bat, something we were very hopeful about. A pitch like this, an opposition like this, no disrespect to them, you would hope for players to score a lot of runs. You saw that with KL Rahul, you see that with Shubman Gill, you saw that for us for the time, we saw that with Jaiswal. And then you saw Sai Sudarshan pulling a ball to Roston Chase, if I'm not wrong, to a spinner. I forgot who the spinner was. But to the spinner, when the ball was on the good length area, it was the most terrible shot because, okay, right. So technically, a lot of things wrong. And like the Jaiswal's dismissal, where technically a lot of things were right. Sai Sudarshan, first of all, the ball wasn't short enough for him to go that back. And even if you are, you wouldn't show your chest to the bowler. You wouldn't completely be opened up to play that pull shot, especially when it's not short enough. Also, especially when you know the pitch just has a little bit of turn in it for you to even get squared up while opening yourself up. So there's a lot of things wrong with that shot. It wasn't the fact that the ball stayed low. The ball just wasn't short enough for him to pull like that. It wasn't the fact that he was just unlucky. It was just a terrible shot. I don't know what happened. It either was a brain fade or he thought it was short enough. It wasn't any of that. He should have either played on the front foot and or even if he had gone on to the back foot, he should have stayed straight on, played with the straight bat, played or at least flicked the ball, do something, not a pull shot like that. That was just a terrible shot out and out. And yeah, that's been the negatives of the day. It's something I really enjoy doing. All right, let's talk about the moments of the day.
Moments of the day. There aren't particularly moments because I think India just seized most opportunities. There was a point where KL Rahul had dropped one of their batters, but it did not cause too much damage because we got that batter soon after. So, from a moment point of view, I think the only thing India can be critical about is that Jaiswal should not have gone out like that, or Sai for that matter. Jaiswal, especially after getting a start, getting to 36, he will be very disappointed that he's not been able to convert that. So yeah, that's mostly it on positives, negatives. Whoever's just joining in, hit like, because now we're going to get into the meaty stuff, the technique and the stats.
Oh, those are the moments of the day. Let's go to the performance of the day. And of course, it's Mohammad Siraj 4 for 40. Yeah, 4 for 40. Fantastic bowling. A lot of it was his nip backer. A lot of it was him not really setting up, but him being consistent through and through. It's something we were very happy to see at a time when Bumrah was really struggling to find his line and length. We saw Mohammad Siraj step up. It's something we've been missing. The fact that he struggled throughout the home season last year, it's great to see in the first match, in the first innings, for him to get a 4 for. The bowlers were also assisting him at some point to get a 5 for, which unfortunately didn't happen. But for him to get those 4 wickets, we thought it was a brilliant start to his home season, because after this test match we have one more test match, and then we have South Africa coming in, the WTC champions. So we know our bowlers need to be in good form, especially against South Africa, for us to win these matches. It's great to see Siraj do his thing. A lot of his nip backers, a lot of as much as the pitch it was assisting him, it was also him being consistent through and through, and we were just very happy to see that from him. Let's go from performance of the day to why it's very important for Jasprit Bumrah to stay stump to stump, and why it's important for the Indian team as well. All right, so if you see the graph below, that's a lot of times that Jasprit Bumrah has bowled to the stumps and gotten a wicket. Interestingly, and I want to say this is since 2024, or yeah, this is 2024, that Bumrah, while bowling stump to stump, or while the ball that he bowls is going to hit the stump, he averages 5, which means he only gives 5 runs every wicket, which is an insane stat. And so, even if you look on top, it was the waiver that I was talking about, how he was all over the place. And the one ball that might potentially go on to hit the stump, that was the dismissal that he got. And so, says something about Bumrah bowling stump to stump and why is he so effective, and why, if the commentators keep talking about it, it's because of this. It's the fact that almost every time he's bowling stump to stump, not only does he not give away runs, but even if he does, he's averaging 5 runs per wicket, which is an insane stat in itself. So yeah, that's that. Let's go to
Washington Sundar, my off spinning legend. But yeah, coming to Washington Sundar, this is a bit on drift, and something that we've spoken about through the England series, and something that a lot of us also saw was just Washi's use of drift. Now, the case here is that you'll see the delivery, the actual delivery, and what it eventually without drift would have looked like. And there's a significant difference, right? The one in blue is where the delivery should have pitched, and that's what the batter sets up for to play. And from there, he is an off spinner, so it is going to spin in. That is something to keep in mind. Whereas what actually happens is that the ball ends up drifting, which for a spinner is essentially the ball moving in the air before pitching on the surface. And what that has meant is that the batter is playing for a certain line, but the line is almost 2 stumps off, and the batter is drawn into going for the shot despite the fact that the ball is actually worth leaving, in this case at least. And what has happened is, from there, not only has it drifted and pitched there, but it has almost kind of held its line, and this was the very ball that got the edge. KL Rahul unfortunately dropped this catch, but this is Washington Sundar, and something that you guys should also be watching through the series and his career is the usage of drift. It is something that he only got properly by the England series. It is something that he properly only got by the England series. And before that, this was not something that he was doing. And this is something to watch out for, because I think it's going to get him a lot of wickets. In fact, even the LBW dismissal where he was bowling to the left hander was a simple fact of drift and the ball just holding its line after pitching.
Karunesh Talwar liked our reel.
Nice.
These are a couple of stats before we take questions and talk to you guys. All right, so a couple of stats. Bumrah now has 50 test wickets at home in just 24 innings with an average of 17. Quickest alongside Srinath, but I'm also assuming this is the best for an Indian fast bowlers in terms of averages. 17 by far should be the best. All right, 22.4. West Indies batters average in WTC, lowest amongst all teams, which is quite unfortunate. And 90% of deliveries in this test match that Siraj bowled was either in the good length or the full length delivery. Stock says something about his control and everything. But yes, here we are. Wow. Oh yeah, there you go.
Be back.
That's from the stands.
What's up,
And
chat?
yeah, I just thought you should know that Karunesh. Right.
Nice. We have a reel that's blowing up that's 100K plus,
Yeah,
120K
and a
odd.
lot of random people are interacting with that,
Yeah.
with that, with that reel. All right, Boomer.
For members only, there will be extra information disclosed.
Yeah, that's
Join the
true.
membership.
Right. Bumrah will be wavered. He was playing a T20 match 3 days ago, which is true.
True.
Yeah, he was a little wavered, but
That is
it's
a
still
valid
just
point.
Preet
Yeah.
Bumrah. KT24. Jaiswal was great initially, not taking risk and playing a test match innings. Of course,
Mm.
took risk after the short rain break and unfortunate dismissal. That is true. It's quite unfortunate, but it's the kind of innings that you would expect from Jaiswal, especially if you watch his debut innings against the same team.
Yeah.
It was mostly the same. Him taking his own sweet time and then attacking once the spinners came on. And I think once the spinners came on, I felt like he had the license to just go for it.
True.
Arush, hey, what's up? All right. Arvind, the fact that this young test team started against England away from home gives a lot of confidence and outlook to this team. They were in a nothing to lose situation and proved there and now reaping rewards. I agree with that.
Agreed. Yeah. And probably too soon to say if they're reaping rewards, but I think they've realized that they are a capable side. That England series was very important from that aspect. The important thing is for them to be able to establish that home dominance, which we actually have a video coming out tomorrow. Why it's not going to be the easiest thing for them to do that.
If they continue with the kind of pitches
Kind
that
of
they
pitches.
have in the last 5 years
Yeah,
and
true.
not necessarily this one. Will you be streaming for the rest of the day? No. We'll be streaming for this.
For day.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We will be coming on pre and post every day of the test match and pre and post every day of Indian World Cup game except against Pakistan. All right. Damn, on your way to Kapil Sharma.
Or if it gets us to Netflix, why not?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Oh yeah, how do you think NKR bowled? How do you think Nitish Kumar Reddy did with the
I
ball?
thought NKR did a decent job. I think something that stood out for me with him since the England series is that he's a lot more accurate. The moment he comes on, he's usually hitting the right areas. There's not too many deliveries that are all over the place. I think pace is a factor where obviously there's only so much kilometers per hour that you can possibly add.
True.
But for now, I think NKR does his job. Sure, he might have been slightly expensive in the first over and even the second, if I'm not wrong. But all in all, I think he is doing that third seamer's job. It is not his primary role to pick wickets. It's mostly just to assist the other two seamers. That's also what we saw because Bumrah or Siraj, I think Siraj it was, who got a bit of an extended first spell, and NKR was switched out with Bumrah, and you just kind of have that maintaining of at least one pacer. So
True.
I think NKR was okay, no complaints.
I think this is satire, but to be serious, guys, I think no matter how big of a match winner Bumrah is, just remember, guys, he can never even come close to the records made by Viv Richards. I'm pretty sure this is satire, and I'll take it as that. Dhruv says, do you think 7 T20Is in UAE, 2 tests in India, and then 3 ODIs and 5 T20s in Australia, all within a span of 1.5 months, is too much for Bumrah and Kuldeep considering how injury prone they are? Kuldeep isn't injury prone per se. He had one injury going on for a very long time, which I think he's taken his time with. Yeah, Bumrah will be interesting. I don't know if they'll make him play in Australia.
In fact, if now that Siraj has done well in this test match, they might not even play Bumrah in the next
second,
test.
yeah, and then they might, because they would want Bumrah to play the
South
ODIs or the
Africa.
T20s against Australia and then possibly the South African Test match. So very interesting point. True. Vignesh, I think Siraj today was not on rhythm and did perform well. 2 years before he would become average skiddy bowler, now he is not that. I think we saw that even in Australia. I think his average days are just very, very poor. I also want to say that the pitch helped him today.
True, but yeah, but I think something he did right was just hit the right areas. He's also coming with match practice, and he's not been playing white ball. It's from test to, I mean, it's red ball to red ball. So easier for him to be the one in rhythm, but at least he's making use of it. It's very easy to be in this form, just come out and not ball the right delivery. So he's utilized the conditions
That's
well.
true.
Yeah.
Side disappoints me a lot. He was the brightest thing to come out of Tamil Nadu batting wise in the recent days. Hey, Jagdishan is right there, dude. Though he would be the greatest, thought he would be the greatest batter from Tamil Nadu to play for India after Srikanth himself.
Damn, that's a hectic claim, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
you shouldn't be disheartened.
Yeah,
He's very young.
it's still early days. It's just very disappointing to see how he gets out, how he got out today.
Yeah.
That was just terrible judgment. KL Rahul was just almost perfect, not taking risks, building a partnership with Jaiswal. It was slow, but it didn't mean he didn't go for the boundaries and made beautiful boundaries. Well deserved 50.
Yeah, 100%. I think he played with a lot of command, control, composure, calm.
Yeah.
Any more C words that you can think of?
Scientific editor. Mark my words, KL will surpass Ganguly, Lakshman, Rahane, Rohit, and maybe even other greats. What do you think? I don't know about.
Whoa.
I don't know if he'll cross 10,000 runs.
In tests?
Yeah, but I mean,
Will he cross Rohit? Yeah, shortly, I guess. Rohit has 4
yeah,
runs. Rane is around 5,000, Lakshman 6,000 ish.
Ganguly.
No, no, you'll have to probably be a little more specific. But
Yeah,
if
if it's in
this,
tests, it's still a reach between like Ganguly and Lakshman.
yeah,
Still a while to go.
but if
But
he plays like this for 2, 3 years, then sure.
yeah. NKR bowling top 130, no disrespect intended, but he is a medium skiddy pacer, am I right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he is a medium skiddy
yeah.
pacer. Yeah. How is it? Oh yeah. How is so if you guys are not checking, Irani Trophy
Irani Trophy. Yeah.
is at an interesting point because Vidarbha is 342 all out and rest of India is 142 for 5. Of course, we have
Damn.
Rajat Patidar still batting because when does he not score at this point? But we have Ruturaj Gaikwad out, Ishan Kishan out, Yash Dal, Aryan Jewel, Abhimanyu Ishwaran all out. So it's a very interesting position for rest of India to be in, but we'll find out what happens. All right. I don't think Sai will be persisted for that long on the side. Maybe next match, Devdutt would walk in. If he doesn't perform, I'm disappointed with the nervousness he's in every time he walks in.
I highly doubt that as long as Sai is there, Devdutt gets a go. Unless I think Sai is going to get this series and the next entire series. It just doesn't make sense to drop him before that. Saying that because if you keep switching out, then no player is going to settle, and then
True.
you're just going to be in a bit of a
I mean, this
problem.
is what you expect from a batter who averages less than 40 in the first class setup.
True,
If you're
true.
not giving him time in the international circuit, why pick him in the first place?
True.
For how many matches Sai can get this run because Particle is already in there and Karun not even in the team. He should make use of it, man. After Vijay, I am seeing. Yeah, we have a new member.
Welcome to the Night Watchers, Arush.
Hey Arush, thank you for being a member. Appreciate it a lot. You'll see content almost every Saturday. Should be every Saturday.
Every Saturday, yeah.
And yeah, will be interesting content. So thank you so much, Arush. Appreciate that a lot. I mean, talking about size run, you've already covered that. I think the idea that Devdutt is ready, I take that with a pinch of salt. I don't think he's ready. I still think he'll need time. I'm not saying he won't score runs, but he's not ready there. I mean, to be fair, I don't know yet because they don't broadcast matches anymore, India A matches. So I don't know if Devdutt's made any technical changes, but yeah.
Arush is
Arush.
going to be missing 3 days of chips for this membership. Arush will make it worth it.
Oh, you're the chips, dude. But thank you so much, Arush. Appreciate that. Why KL's test average so average? He should be averaging at least 40 plus for the kind of player he is.
Damn. We have a video on this.
Entire video on this.
And we have a video of how Kale's made technical changes right
Yeah.
before or around the England series, why he's been successful in England, all of that. Check it out. But in short, I think with Kale, it's got a lot to do with just how much he has on his mind, his headspace. He's been a very feel kind of player in that sense. But also, there's some technical nuances with his stance and everything, which you can look at. Backlift.
How much do you guys think the final day performance contributed to the way Siraj bowled today? I think more than that, it's him coming off from a decent domestic game that he played. I think the final game, of course, gives you confidence and he'll be carrying that confidence, but I think it's the match practice that he's coming up with. Someone asked, oh yeah, Grey Matter asked, who was the last stable number 3 batter in the test team in your opinion? Pujara, of course. I mean, Pujara. Batted at number 3 for the longest time after Rahul Dravid, and so it is no surprise that he was the most stable number 3 India's had in the recent times. Sai should open and Kiel should bat at number 3 to handle the pressure. Scientific.
Don't move Kale again.
Yeah, now
Please.
just let him be.
He's finally scoring runs. Let him score.
Yeah. I see. Shall check the video out, says Judge. Just hoping Gill doesn't throw his wicket and gets his deserved 100 or more. Yeah, at this point, he should just bat 600, 700 if he can.
It is Ahmedabad as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Scientific editor, I like how you copied your username and then pasted it. In red ball cricket for Tamil Nadu, even India A, he played in middle order, so don't need to make him open. Yeah, Sai Sudarshan's been batting in the middle because I'm sure he's been told that he's going to feature in the middle. So he's doing that a lot. And I think
lads hit like.
Oh,
I think this is the end of the stream.
I was gonna say, but we'll go on for long. Now that you're gonna
we'll go on for another couple of minutes if you have any questions. But hit like so that we can push this out at least.
Satvik, there's your shout out. Shout out to Satvik. If But yeah, I feel like this pitch is a belter to bat in, by the way, just saying that. What happened to Sarfaraz Khan? Sarfaraz Khan,
Injury.
yeah, he's injured. He hasn't featured in Irani Cup, the Dilip Trophy, the India A games. You would want him to feature in one of these games at least. He's unfortunately injured. I think he's in Bangalore, the COE.
COE.
Can India score 12,000 runs for the next 3 days and get West Indies all out in 10 balls? I think.
It is doable. I think it's a lot easier
Yeah.
than
Please
you think.
clap before leaving. Right?
Lap. No, we're not taking these strange requests. I don't
Why
know.
KL was replaced by Gill as he opened in the early 2020s.
Oh,
First.
KL was replaced. Oh, so I mean that had to do with KL's form at the time. KL was averaging very low, like very low
So why was
30s.
KL Rao dropped?
Yeah.
Because he deserved to be dropped. That's
True.
why.
Was not scoring many runs. Mayank Agarwal was in good form. Prithvi Shaw was in the mix of things. Gill
Yeah.
had come, so there was anyways a lot of competition.
And KL Rao was in terrible form.
Yeah, in fact, the England series might have been the only one, the 2021 series, where he
Yeah.
scored some runs as an opener. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a mess.
Who are the next crop of Indian bowlers in red ball? Mayank Yadav and Umran Malik. I know. I feel like Akash Deep.
Akashdeep,
Then you have a lot of spinners coming in the mix.
spinners, but for pacers, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of
Arshdeep Singh. Akash
Arshdeep,
Deep.
raw talent. Some people who are playing currently. There's also this whole thing going on around how the selectors are looking for a lot of tall, strong bowlers who are like hit the deck bowlers. But time will tell. I think Gurnur Brar is one of the examples you pointed out who's been fast tracked into India A, I want to say, to some extent,
Yeah.
because of his build and his hit the deck ability.
You know, Vignesh asked who's Jadeja's replacement. Interestingly, we have so many left arm spinners in the domestic circuit who can
Yeah.
also bat and score a lot of runs. We can Aksar Patel for one, who's in the team and not in the squad,
True.
not in the playing 11. And we have so many.
Manav
who are in-
Sutar.
Damn, Arvind, we have another. We have
let's
another
go.
member.
Damn, were you all just waiting for test matches to join the membership?
Dude, that's 2 members on one live. We take 3. Okay, we'll take 2 more. We'll take 2 more. If
We'll
you want,
take 2 more.
yeah. If you get 2. Okay, first of all, Arvind, thank you so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
joining.
that quite a bit. Appreciate that a lot. If we get 2 more members on this live, I will go.
Where will you go?
I will go live tomorrow for the entire day of the test match and do a watch log.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it right now. Thanks, Arvind.
Lads, now is your opportunity to tire the living hell out of Ashwin. Let's
You
see.
would think, Akshay, that this is the worst Pakistan team to exist. The fact that the Pakistan team has never beaten India in ODI cricket women's,
Yeah.
this
Hmm.
says something. But
Digression.
anyway, do you think India have a chance? Oh, sent.
Whoa.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Shrikant, that's crazy. So, I think how this works and what. Oh, Tech and Trick received. Oh, so now we have another member because Shrikant gifted the membership to Tech and Trick, right? Shrikant, thanks, lad.
I don't know
Appreciate
what this
it.
is.
So, basically, our members can gift a membership for a month to anybody.
So how do they do this? Oh,
I don't know. There are options.
okay, fine.
Damn.
Right. Can Saransh Jain, Manav Sutar ball like Sir Jadeja? I mean, Jadeja
Ooh.
took time to get into the international circuit.
Yeah.
So, Manav Sutar, Sai Kishore, I don't think he can bat as such, but Sai Kishore is another example. They'll all come into play.
Yeah,
Just
Psycho
take-
Show is a good shout.
Yeah, they'll just take time. Interestingly, Sai Kishore wasn't or isn't in any of these squads.
Which is
shouldn't we-
interesting. Yeah.
Right. Satvik, shouldn't we have played Devdutt in place of NKR?
If Devdutt can ball at 130 clicks and get the ball to move a bit, sure.
No, so the only reason NKR played is because you would want a third seamer option, especially on a pitch like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, you would just want a third seamer option. And especially if you have an all-rounder, you would rather take in an all-rounder than a pure batter because you'd want the cushion of that extra bowler. Who can use the conditions like he would have today.
For people who might not have context, this Ahmedabad pitch is unlike many Ahmedabad pitches that we've seen. There's 4 to 5 millimeters of grass and there was seam movement and everything. So it made sense for India to pick NKR as that seamer or
Right.
that extra bowling option.
He tags Ayushman tags Satvik and says, "Nahi denge jawab bhai. We have become big UT."
Arre? Arre bhai.
First of all, that's not true at all. Grey matter. All right. So you're the first one to ask for the membership. is if there's a way you can find out how to give Grey Matter that membership.
We shall figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We ourselves don't have too much idea
But
about.
thanks, Shrikant.
Yeah.
Thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Why do we need this SEMA in India anyway? Because of the pitch, because of the
Pitch
pitch
today.
and conditions that were used. I feel like regardless of the pitch, they would have gone with NKR unless they would have gone with Aksar. Aksar also wouldn't have been a bad
Mm.
choice, but because of the regime and the management, I feel like they wouldn't have gone with Devdutt regardless. They would have gone with NKR or Aksar depending
Aksar.
on the pitch. If the
Yeah.
pitch were to crumble a lot or if it was dry already, Aksar would have been a go from the get go. But
Yeah.
because of the pitch, because it's seeming, you're just taking NKR.
Plus, you need to remember there is rain as well, so that is going to factor into some movement and how it might aid the seamers and all of that.
Yeah. Not wasted. Why is Indian cricket and just cricket in general so hesitant to move on from declining legends and to bring in youth like football does? I feel like it's very evident in football, and I might be wrong in terms of pace, in terms of covering the pitch. In cricket, it's not that evident because let's say Sachin in his 40s was still scoring 50, 60. You would consider him because he scored 55,000 runs before that. But I think it's a lot to do with that. But not wasted. I would want to know which legend you're talking about in terms of moving on, or
Mm.
is this just the general
Is
consensus?
it Kohli Sharma? And the other thing is also just like brand value. As much as you want to believe that it's not something that factors into the game at the highest level,
Yeah.
it does play a part. Like Kohli was the face of cricket for Olympics and all of that. So you obviously are going to be hesitant to drop someone like that easily.
Yeah. Any opinion on the crowd today? No one should ask for a WTC final in Ahmedabad. Disgrace of a crowd,
100%.
especially we are playing in a test match in India almost a year. I don't know if it's the people in Gujarat, but I
There-
think
I think there's no culture there. Like in the sense that first of all, the stadium is not accessible. That's the biggest thing.
yeah,
To go to that stadium, you need to go to Ahmedabad. Then you need to be in a car for 2 hours, go across the highway, and that's the issue. Any test centers that you see that are relevant are usually in the city. Wankhede,
right.
Chinnaswamy, for that matter, is in the city. Eden Gardens. So they have a lot going for them. They are in the heart of the city. They have a history with cricket. I can't say the same about Ahmedabad.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, oh, you've also said Bangalore. Have you said
Yeah,
Bangalore?
yeah.
Okay, fair.
Exactly.
All right, scientist editor wants us to say this. So I'll say this. But good on him. Just got 50-50 in maths. First of all, congratulations.
Oh.
Getting 50 out of 50 is insane. And Test cricket is back. It sure is. My favorite cricket YouTubers are back. What a day for me.
Damn.
Damn.
Who are your favorite
Hey,
cricketers?
Shrikant, you went and left.
Are Shrikant?
I'm from Ahmedabad and I fully agree
Jeez, okay.
as judge.
Yeah.
We have bad memories associated with that stadium. That's true. Why aren't
Trust me.
Indian women players playing? I mean, the World Cup is not happening in famous stadiums because there is a thing where it's booked out for the T20 World Cup next year. That's happening in Feb. So the pitches cannot be made and stuff. I don't know if that's true, but that is
yeah.
what the thing is. Aksar, Sai Kishore, Tanush Kotian. Oh yeah, Tanush
Tanush is a
Kotian
good
is in the
shout.
mix. Manav Sutar, Harsh Dubey. I'm missing a few names, but these are the spinners who don't make the 11. Our depth is insane. Sai Kishore could also be a future captain. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like so much left arm spinners in India. I would 100% think they would push Ahmedabad if you ever get a WTC final. BCCI thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. But if they can fill that stadium up, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having WTC final in Wankhede Stadium.
I mean, I'll tell you this much, right? So I had the chance to go for the 2023
That
World
is
Cup
true.
final, and there was no culture. That was the biggest shocker. Like you had 100,000 people, but nobody really knew what was happening.
Yeah.
So you need something like a Wankhede.
Umang has it's a barter system. He said, "I'll be a member if you have a Discord."
Damn. Do you want to moderate the Discord? We'll think about it.
The ads made for Ashes are so good as compared to the ads made in India. Oh, I don't know the
Well,
answer.
Broadcast is a whole other debate.
Yeah, Syed says Karun Nair deserves another chance. Absolutely not. But if you want,
Justice for Karun Nair.
all right, even Ayushman has started. Now, let's talk about Karun Nair for a bit. We did this pre-match. Let's do this post-match also. Karun Nair is in his early 30s, right? He
Yeah.
scored the 300, got a couple of chances, got dropped. Unfortunately, shouldn't have got dropped at that point. But there, when he did get dropped, he did have a technical flaw, but he shouldn't have gotten dropped, but he did. Now he has a lot of years where he doesn't perform in domestic circuits, gets dropped from Karnataka, has to go somewhere else to score runs. Doesn't matter. A lot of players do this. Rightly so. He scores a lot of runs, scores heaps and heaps of runs. gets selected for India in his early 30s. Not something you see every day,
Yeah,
but
it is an anomaly, if
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
and he does that, comes back, and he's not a youngster for him to be given a chance in India. The fact that another reason why he got a chance is also because he's played county cricket, so he has that experience in England, right? So he gets selected for India to play against England, gets 4 test matches, gets 150, throws his wicket every time he settles down. He's not a youngster for you to feel bad and think about, but he scored runs in India, so give him a chance in India. Doesn't work that way. He is
Yeah.
in his 30s. He has enough experience to be able to score runs. He didn't do that. And he got out
Yeah.
with the same technical flaw that he'd had 10 years ago.
True. And just think about it. Sai Sudarshan scored about the same number of runs at the same average and also got 150 that Karun Nair also did. So, would you rather have someone who's 21 or 23, whatever he is, and have him secure his place, learn through the job, and potentially lock down number 3 for the next 10, 15 years, or have Karun Nair, who even at his best will give you maybe 2, maybe 3 years, and then you're looking once again, by which time Sai has not been able to develop his red ball game to whatever level he'll achieve now, if he does, hopefully. Yeah.
Or any other youngster for
Or
that
any
matter.
youngster.
So it
Devdutt for
makes,
that matter.
yeah, it makes
Yeah.
absolute no sense. Grey matter, absolutely not. Nice one. Yeah, it's just a word that rolls off my mouth. But right, so this has been our live. We've been live for 40 minutes, and this is what we usually do. We will come back tomorrow at 8:45 a.m. pre-match to talk about what India needs to do to just solidify their stamp on the authority.
To stamp down their authority
Whatever.
on the opposition.
Yeah, and so that, and we will be back tomorrow post-match too. If you want, India, how would manage such a work schedule? The Asia Cup just finished, and now the Test series. Yeah, that is true. Justice for
It's a lot.
Satvik, says Ayush.
Damn, bro.
It went from Karun to Satvik.
Hey, you should know that this is just discourse.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
don't think we're.
We're not angry at
Yeah,
anybody. We don't. If like I understand where the justice
Yeah.
from Karun Nair comes from.
Yeah.
It's all just a conversation. Arey.
What happened?
Ayush was just Satvik Soja bhai.
Hey,
not your
Vidwan
day.
Insan, what's up? Long time no see. Umang, BCCI doesn't even have a YouTube channel, and the marketing bit and all, that's something we'll cover maybe tomorrow. But yeah, that's also something to think about. We've actually also covered it in the recent Monday video where
Oh,
we
that's true.
talked about BCCI and the Women's World Cup. So, yeah.
Satvik, it's all chill. Satvik says justice for Satvik. Nice. I like this. I'm going for day 3, Ajay.
Hey,
Well
lovely.
done. That's bloody good.
Nice.
Against Satvik, there's no hate. It's just a discourse. It's just a conversation.
It's all banter here,
Yeah,
lads.
we like you. We like all of you equally. All right, then. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you guys coming on, supporting us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:45 and then post-match as well at 5:30 p.m., whenever that may be. Please go fully day. I'm telling you, the day we get 4 members on a live, I'll do anything you guys want me to in terms of watch-alongs.
Watch
Let's just
Nothing
stick to
else.
that, yeah. All right. Okay, guys, it's all cool. Thanks, Satvik. It's a government holiday today, still no crowds. That just pissed me off. I agree,
exactly.
Arvind.
Things like that. Yeah.
But thank you for being the member. A member. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.